Hi folks, Justin here from Haven Raceway and Hobby. Wanted to catch you up to speed. Now we're in January of 2018. And a Happy New Year to all of you. Have some neat things to talk about, but first I want to congratulate our fall season champions, Jeff Hennis in GT1 Pro and GTP, Jeffrey Hennis in Advanced GT1, Al Rogers in Division 1 GT1, and Dan Halfhill in Retro Can-Am. Thanks a lot for your racing, guys, and congrats on some good seasons all around that we hope will continue into the winter season now that that's started. And as for the winter season, let's get right to what's probably on a lot of people's mind now that the season started: making your car a little quicker. So, if you're like most folks who come through our door, you've likely bought yourself a starter set car, and that'd be this beast right here. Durable JK Cheetah 21 chassis with an equally durable 20 thousandths thick body. In this case, the JK Mazda Dyson. Now, let's say you've gotten yourself nice and comfortable with getting this around the track. You're competing either as a junior or in our Division 1 as an absolute novice, and you've decided time to get a little bit more speed. I'd like to get at the front of the pack. Not to say that you can't be at the front of the pack with this, but advantages are always helpful. So, what do? Well, one of the first tricks is actually right up here. Oddly enough, guide flags matter for performance. As you can see, this right here is a low-cut guide. Drops the nose of the car down, gives you a little bit better center of gravity, helps the car handle. And if you get a little too low or you're not quite comfortable with where the car's at, that's where guide washers come in place. One or two of these set right beneath the guide will help get just the right amount of height versus the track for a good handling car. And of course, nothing really helps handling quite as well as center of gravity. That heavy but durable 20 thousandths body, well, it's heavy, even though it's durable. So maybe consider a 7 thousandths thick body, like the ones we carry by Red Fox. This one's a Porsche 911, which tends to be a favorite, especially if you like a little bit more top end speed and a little less downforce. But we have bodies that have a little bit more downforce if you want a little bit better road holding as opposed to higher top end. Other benefit? Paint it up exactly how you like. Everybody would rather have their car look like the way they want it. And truth be told, the Vallejo paints do work great for Lexan. Your lighter body, your lower, one other thing can help out. Tires. These are my personal favorites, the Alpha Medium Wonders. But a lot of folks also run the JK Wonder tire. What's so special? Well, they're slightly stiffer. You'll notice your stock tires are a little softer for a little bit more grip. Helps keep the car from sliding around too much. There are other tires on the market, like the Wonder tires, that are stiffer, so they don't have quite as much squish, so they're not quite as grippy, but by being stiffer, they aren't offering as much rolling resistance, so you get a little bit more top speed. And by trying different compounds of rubber, of which we have quite a few, you can arrive at a good compromise between grip and rolling resistance for a car that's quicker and more comfortable for you to race. Do these things add up over time? They can, but they can also add up to a much quicker race car. So, here's something that happens fairly often here at Haven.
Hello.
Hi, what can I do for you?
I've been looking everywhere for this model and I was wondering if you have it.
But don't worry, that's really not a problem to ask. You see, kits tend to fall into one of four categories. Things we have in stock, things that we have available, things that are out of production, and things that are a little tricky. In stock is pretty easy. Generally speaking, we have a pretty good idea of what we have on hand at any given time, and we try to keep a pretty good variety on hand. So airplane, ship, Armor, or Gundam, Auto, just ask. Typically, and we've got it. But then again, we don't stock everything as much as we'd love to. We have several good distributors, and we always have a few spare moments to look through their lists, and usually it only takes 3 to 5 days for us to get something in from our wholesalers. And depending on the item, it may require a deposit, but generally we're fairly flexible. So if it's available, it's only a few days away. Then we get to the tricky one, out of production. Dad and I have a pretty good working knowledge of what has been and has not been made as a model kit in the past. And frequently there are kit collectors and kit services online who do offer these. Now these can be at a premium, and we do tend to mark up a little bit when it comes to finding these rare and out of production kits, but we will gladly, if you're really in a bind and really need our skill, help you locate that really unusual thing. Unless it gets a little tricky. Sometimes there are some things that are just so unusual or scarce or complicated that nobody's quite done a kit. There are aftermarket producers that make things called trans kits, which are to convert an existing kit into the thing that was not offered as a kit. Or, for that matter, there are resin kits on the market which are more difficult to assemble, but still a route to take if you really want this particular subject. And sometimes even that isn't there. But we will always go the extra mile to at least see if we can find that exact thing you're looking for. So, hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight as to being a little bit more competitive and being a little bit more comfortable making special requests. We're not shy around here, and we hope you aren't either. And we really hope we see you soon. The racing season's in full swing, and there's always something new and interesting on the shelf and on the pegs. So stop on in and take care. It's been Justin from Haven Raceway and Hobby.